I'm sorry, James. It's coming though. I'm gonna do this again after I've had some practice with it.
What are we giving us some kind of poem?
Huh?
Are we giving some kind of
No, this is my.
just check.
You'll have to wait till the next time there is.
Oh, I understand now. He just wants to get down. All right. Now I'm going to be the next set of people here.
Man, it's going better here.
Well, see?
This has possibilities, but as yet unfulfilled, as yet unrealized.
So the next 5 poets up, we have Cesar, Jack, Ann, Stephanie, and Rida. Did I say that right?
Ryan. Okay.
Oh, okay, Ryan. But I gotta get my drum. So Ryan. Looks like a Diaz on Ryan. Anyway, so Bill, Cesar, Jack, Ann, Steve, Stephanie, then Ryan. So Cesar. Cesar Lockwood.
Good evening, Mr. Brown. Have some new poems. On the morning after the reading. Excuse me. On the morning after the reading, the coffee is tall, the jam is flesh, the milk is bottomless. I relish all the bread at my table, every roll, every loaf, every slice. Each roll resembles a heart, each loaf swells like a lung. I hear them breathe, I feel them pulse. I hear everything breathe, I feel everything pulse. El Dorado. Outside at first light, intent to explore the familiar at an unfamiliar hour. Intent to explore the familiar by an unfamiliar beam. That amber glow which nuzzles the curve of the earth. I walk along my street and look upon the trees, the scars on their breasts, their broken hands and buried feet. Creatures firm against the hours, creatures steady through the seasons. I observe the fire hydrant. I witness its worker body, its slumberless vigil. I behold the crosswalk and lamp, the stop sign and parking meter. I decipher their runes. I read the hieroglyphs. I survey the asphalt, its amused wrinkles, its grandfatherly brow, pie crust for a savory earth. Shadows rise from the west. They accent the trees, they toll through my body. The shadows dissolve, leaving me tall, leaving me stout. I emerge from my silhouette to stand on the street, my street paved with gold. Flavor of lemon. Bake your pie of lemon. Invite the forbidden one over. There is no time for plates and silverware. Eat it with her as fast as you can. Destroy the evidence. Before she leaves, lick every crumb from her face. Cupid's dark twin hands you the handsome fruit. He tells you, smell it. Isn't this exquisite? I dare you to taste it, but if you like it, if you want more, laws will be passed against you. In a ball of innocent yellow, a flavor that strips varnish. This is the taste of love's confusion. This is the taste of love's certainty. His nakedness that begs for sugar clothes. The sky will rain sour, no umbrella, no lifeboat. The lifeguards laugh. You must drown. Then bake your pie, savor the last slice, Savor the last slice. Sleeping apart. We cannot watch the moon together. Our balconies hold different skies. When I'm of the moon, you careen through the minutes. You ruffle through musts. My dreams conjure the hands smoothing your dress. When you're with the moon, the sun bakes my sidewalk. The sun burns my shoes. The lake of your sleep brings me cool breezes and dandelion feathers found in my beard.
Thank you. So Jack, then Ann, and Stephanie, then Ryan. Jack Melanu hasn't been here in a while, so warm it up for him, please. Thank you so much.
This is called Here With You. I've slept alone in narrow bunks amid frustrated barrack mates or shipmates, young and virile hunks where no one too much fornicates. But here with you, what happy plight, I don't think I'll go out tonight. When working students' GI Bill runs out just halfway through grad school, some turn to crime the gap to fill, some sit in jail, which isn't cool, but here with you, what happy plight, I don't think I'll go out tonight. I've studied reams of epic verse in dim corrals and libraries in quest to lift my horny curse through Western universities. But here with you, what happy plight, I don't think I'll go out tonight. So much bemused by love I've been, specifically of friendships sought in class, or tear gas, riots, when the poor against injustice fought. But here with you, what happy plight, I don't think I'll go out tonight. This is called Toby. Springy little Labrador, upon my knees placed 4 paws. Toby rears up from the floor and holds my hand in gentle jaws. Allowed to smooth her sheeny coat for 3 full strokes. I see her turn. Woof woof, she says, that's a quote. Then split to dig the sunrise, burn bright drops of dew off guard with leaves spring. She dives to kill some rats, fills larger graves. Nor too much grieved them on their way. Dogs aren't cats. It's called Mary. This Mary's plainly beautiful, of sheer ineffability, a paragon is she, so much the poet dutiful, with faith, truth, and utility, her features draw in line, to try which, while futility inspires one every time. This is a commercial. Conscientious moms agree your types will not grow up to be biker dudes and strippers if you raise the little nippers on taco chips and kippers. This is called In Space. They call it O, the point they make, extending thence 6 segments straight, of which 3+ directions take, called forward, right or up, create their opposites back, left, or down, their styling negative, then stretch all 6 ends out past edge of town. Each duple axis, positive and minus, perpendicular to plane, where other 2 may live. These map makers then go too far. 3 signed coordinates to assign, 3 distances from every point to get to any axis line. What omnipresent powers anoint these heads that feign to compass all of space? They fear no vanity, nor reckon hearts of poetry, can sing their own geometry, where most ingenious pride must fall, can rhyme how technocratic men colleague in Mother Earth's disgrace. Let all their evil graphing then, in its Cartesian plane or space, be closed in mirror pentagons or by dodecahedrons bound that center on the origins of weapons forming were found, whose imp derivers view till late their cursed fallen, broken state, and forthwith weaken unto death. The rest of space can take a breath. Its denizens no more play rubes, all sliced and diced in squares and cubes. Despite each demon's failing jibe, a huge icosahedral room let these poets circumscribe about each morning jail tomb, so devils view at their release on each triangular bulkhead old bards portrayed who sought surcease from diabolic plottings dread, or angels framed in trinities who do with aliens what they please. This is called stress. In zoo confines of any size, the Arctic wolves and tigers pace perimeters. How they despise their freedom's loss like a disgrace. With rapid, loping, anxious tense, they seem us patrons to berate. At every yard of wall or fence, expect we'll open up a gate. It's called time. Though we're now less young than once did be, we're no more old than we yet will. And if time's reverse perhaps won't see, let us then be no more old still. I got one more, it's called Recruitment Poster. There are those whose actions prematurely would express the outrage of the people, who are many, over 1%ers thinking they can second-guess the will of the majority, if any. Ever-enervated hypersensitivities take personal the everyday attrition, blighting rights and freedoms of the capitals, please, while I prefer complicit vanishing.
Thank you, Jack. I like that the little one about the raising the kids. That was cool. That was very good. And the other one's good stuff. All right, so Eddie's here, but we're gonna have Ann or Stephanie go. So give Eddie time to get ready. So Ann, you're next, then Stephanie, or we'll have to figure out how Eddie goes. So Ann Leonard. No, you're supposed to be next. I'm just saying I might do you and her before him. I don't know how it's gonna take him to get ready. So,
I don't have a really super one.
it's all right.
Oh, man, come on.
Not very long. Is this how you make it?
Yeah, yes. As they say in France, yes.
Okay. This one's called Bar Ship, and then in little letters, the salute. So some of you might know where I'm talking about. In the creaking, tumble-down prow of Bar Ship, launched from a gone peninsula's far shores, from streets cobbled in dreams spittle, the spew of the waves, the sound of their slap, and dust drifts through dim shafts of daylight. Oh, bad day, oh, bad, bad day. We are but a mote in the eye of the inferno. As on our chancy dance across rippling blue satin, the bar ship's boombox croaks a Jewish minstrel's lament, like a church without a spire, as waves heave and swell up from far depths, from King Thanatos' reign, where the soul's plumb lines cast in the realm of white bones. At the cherrywood bar, nicked and worn, shipped round the horn, the air thick and heaving, winged reverberations of 150 years' broken heart, Barbary Coast confessions. Outlaw Johnny bends near, lends an ear to my sad tale of disrespect long and deep, and the river of tears. How the human comedy laughed and jeered, the ringmaster's cards held too close to read. Oh, fragile web of life, its threads rope, the breath speaks, the eyes like the eyes of the other, and the old outlaw lifts his vodka orange, gives counsel straight and sure. There's many a strange cat in this land, 'tis true, then toast, to what merits they may hold, though in this world they shall remain unknown. Eros Thanatos, life force, death drive, Eros Thanatos, survive, survive. Oh, Johnny, Johnny, thank you, Johnny, I say, as through the dim bar light, a bright doorway to our burning world truth, writes the rails of perception, and I see, hunched on her cane, wee Blue Cape Millie, exchanging pleasantries with Long Tom Lee, wearing a stovepipe leg brace as tall as she. Some nights they say wee Millie sleeps in the alley in a busted old dresser, while other nights she wanders deep in Bar Ship's cellars, scratching with her cane for old-time Barbary pirates' plunder, bags of 49er gold still buried undiscovered. And as Bar Ship's boombox croaks a Jewish minstrel's lament, suddenly, oh good day, we are the sun bursting into 100 trillion fiery petals, and suddenly a sad song sung seems far better than none. As one lone wayfarer in a strange land finds another, a friend, if just for a moment's passing, then another, again and again, until the end. Eros Thanatos, life force, death drive, Eros Thanatos, survive, survive. And then by night, from off the prow, I see a circle of lights, the mirrored Bar Ship diadem of 100 trillion fiery petals, or else King Thanatos' crown in shining ripples, up from black mask waters. Reflections of death the king, the deep dark mystery encircling and defining everything. While for poor wayfarers in a strange land, all that's known can only paint a question mark.
right. Stephanie, then Eddie. Eddie? We still got you for the keynote, so I'm gonna have Stephanie go up and then you want to be after her, is that all right?
We had somebody else go first.
Yeah, she's gonna go and then you. All right. I just wanted to make sure you knew because we didn't forget. Stephanie Manning, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see everybody here. Do birds know when a nest is complete? When to stop flying out in search of twigs? When to settle down on it and just wait? And how does man know when it's time to settle down? When it's time to focus in on the chosen one and propose a hand in marriage or at least in serious relationship? If he is like the birds who choose the time through instinct, why does he hesitate and brood as the seconds tick, as life runs its course? Is he so far from his natural instincts that he forgets to regard them? Is he so far from his natural instincts, jaded by chemical substances, dysfunction, and capitalist mesmerism, that he forgets his connection with the birds? To the very birds he lifts binoculars to observe. Is he blinded by the foggy air of doubt and a Shakespearean distrust of the future? Has he puzzled every possible disastrous consequence, including the possible loss of wealth, until no longer able to envisage recovery from potential pain? His pale mind ceases to breathe freely from exchange to exchange, and the dread of the undiscovered future puzzles him, backs him into a box which contains the familiar rather than step off the curb on his journey into the imperfect intersection of life. So risky. And does not wind blow, fire burn, water flow, and earth turn? Every predictable matrix on the expansion and contraction of love in the great bellows of fate's course drives man to either act, react, or sit cozy with one's familiar in unending ponderance driven by fear, with the repeated ignitions of self-hate and regret. The only worry worthy of time marries momentum to action.
All right, so Eddie. Eddie. All right, he's ready. So he was supposed to be the keynote. He got here late, so he's going to do this now, and then later on he'll come back to the open if he so desires, because the keynote can do that. Here.
Hi. And then I was in a hurry. I'm gonna read a couple of my poems. I can't find the other one on here. It's called The Poor Boy's Blues. He wants to impress the ladies in a lifestyle not his own. He appears to sit on top of the world. In debt, his life's unknown. Living in the fast lane, where payments made too slow. In a race that he just can't win, a poor boy ought to know. He owes his life to promises, investments placed to lose. In a world of rich boys high, he has the poor boy's blues. He'll take the loss, the double cross, to pay for the rich boy's high. Although his reasons for living are not much worth giving, a teardrop if the poor boy should die. We all try to climb that mountain, but just a peek at the other side. It isn't easy, but still we try, and the wind could make a poor boy cry. Go ask Bobby, cause Bobby would know. Go ask Bobby why the wind must blow. Go ask Bobby, cause he's been in them shoes. Go ask Bobby about the poor boy's blues. This one's called You're No Angel. I love your smile. I love your eyes. I could see that you've heard your heart. You use your body and think you're smart. I could see this right away. You think I was born yesterday. The rich boys love you, and you play them all cool. You use them, you tease them, and you make them a fool. The rate that you're going, and the money you get, you're bound to make Hugh Hefner sweat. You are no angel, and I'm no saint. You look like an angel, but I know you ain't. You gave it up for beers and for duties when you were just a little hoe. But now you're living it up with diamonds and rubies, and the rich boys are feeding you snow. What are you doing? How have you been? Never forget me, because I broke you in. This is I died for a cigarette. I tried to stop smoking, but it seems I can't quit, because each time I tried, I had a nicotine fit. I felt kind of funny. In fact, I went nuts. I was digging in ashtrays for cigarette butts. I remember the times that I stood up till 4. I was gathering my change for some Arabic store. Now I lay here with cancer, with the guilt and regret that I ever lit up the first cigarette. One led to another, and soon it was packed, and I smoked like a train with my lungs on the tracks. I never would listen to the Surgeon General's warning, and I would light up another as I'd awaken each morning. I tried to stop smoking, but I just couldn't quit, and gave up my life to my nicotine fit. One led to another, now my lungs are all black. Someday you might see what I mean. When you die for a smoke, you see there's no joke, just your lungs on an x-ray machine. I tried to stop smoking, but I couldn't stop the crave, and I died for a cigarette. Should be written on my grave. So if my money is funny, and my credit still talks, please bury my ashes in a cigarette box.
Want to make an announcement or something?
Okay, that's all I do. Thank you.
If you can find the other time, you can come back later. Thank you, Ed. All right, thank you. Now, Ryan, come on up. Mr. Ryan Cook, it looks like, right?
I learned to play my writing.
Okay. I'll blame his writing and my bad eyesight.
Took her around, this is his first time here.
He
can
teach us something.
Oh, wait a minute. Time's up. Sorry.
Thank you all.
You have a good sense of humor, we like that.
Do what I can.
All right.
This is for the country folk. This is for the townsfolk of Emmett, Idaho. The pickup truck driving 5 miles under the speed limit at all times. This side of the street is the town, that side of the street is the sky. Used books, used clothes, antiques, the impossible to find river through time. The Portland was too big for me. Christians with substance abuse in their past, Californians turned Idahoans. This is for the Snake River, the Payette River, the Black Canyon Dam. This is for Fruitland and Eagle and New Plymouth and Owyhee County. For Boise and its Basque Block and the Bench. This is for naming your coffee shop after your favorite book of the Bible, for serving homemade root beer at the drive-in, for having wooden shutters in the motel, for espresso and tanning, for the Pioneer Theater, open Friday through Monday, showings at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. This is for my uncle getting married in jeans, a tuxedo jacket, copper neckerchief, and cowboy hat, who calls me to find out why I didn't finish the coffee. who swears we're Italian despite 2 millennia of migration, who lived in a teepee, who lived in Attica, who loves my family and wants us there, who asks me for a toast minutes before, whose daughters, my cousins, first met in this town none of us call home, are as different as he and my father. This is for family, born and chosen, and the idea the first does not obligate the latter. This is for blood running thick in cowboy country between buttes and under big skies. This is for the gravity of love pulling disparate particles into orbit. This one's about dinosaurs. It's called The Emotional Lives of Velociraptors. 5 females, a hierarchy, a family, a hunt. Alpha female at the front guides the group's movements, flicks of head and tail, guttural growls, and feathered flutters. The heat is wet, inside and out, and when great gouts of hot blood spout through the morning, coat their quills, they are spent. For every success, losses must also come. A dying bull, sick but still strong, lashes out with a tree-thick, maced tail, surprises the matriarch, and shatters her like a lightning strike. Fire spreads throughout them. A new matriarch must rise, a new leader must replace the old, even as the wounds are fresh. 3 young rivals, watched avidly by their brood studs, fight each other as they never fight their enemies, individually. It surges like sickness within them to endeavor against instead of with. Their family a body, the missing limb inviting infection. But this violence is the balm, for the alternative is to succumb. They must burn out the fever. 2 curl into each other at dusk, now wounded contender and brood stud, life mated. He nuzzles her wounds, the hot volcanic odor of her blood pervades his nostrils. His teeth delicately adjust her barbules, she lays still like stone. The dusk dresses the sky in the colors of her blooded feathers, hot but cooling, she is like the sunset to him. The stiller she lays, the gentler his breath becomes. One is alone, the gray world strange in the bone-white light. The hunt has moved on, and other hunters are afoot, moving in ways he does not know. His eyes dilate rapidly, his nostrils enlarge, everything open. His adrenaline floods, and his plumage flares, not soon enough. This is called Sex is Complicated. I know that sometimes the way we intertwine, it seems like the simplest thing, decided only by a whim whether we're all the cup or the ball. That between male and female there's a vast difference of details. I'm sorry, did you think I spoke of some other thing? Science used to believe that when we're conceived, we're female until our genes read a Y chromosome, which gives a male genome. But now we think we know there's hormones that trigger and genetics that figure into a picture much bigger and constantly changing. These factors arranging our physiology, ranging anywhere on a spectrum between where we'd expect them, and we're just starting to inspect them. It turns out the transformation of puberty is a never-ending cruelty that our hormones work on continually. Our bodies, the front line in this battle undying between these sexes we've assigned. In this room, there's the elephant of differences of sexual development, which is becoming more relevant as we become more intelligent regarding ambiguous genitalia. See, it's not just male and female, you have a veritable regale of options available to you, like the man at 70 who found out he had a womb but had already been a father of 2, or the woman who'd been in utero twins, now wearing one skin but with half the cells within her chromosomally Y, not to mention all those whose lives cannot be defined by check whichever box applies.